So, welcome to our first devlog video that we're going to try and see how it works out. We're basically going to talk about what we've done for the last month and then what's coming up in the next month. That's essentially a devlog, like a development log, and we're just going to talk about what's going on. You guys may like this, you may not, but we'll see. So, since this is the first one, I think we should talk about like how we got started with this whole thing. Because you and I, on one of the previous podcasts, we talked about how we met.
Yeah.
Stop looking at me like you're mad.
I'm sorry. You already got to know. Like,
Tom's a little bit sick right now.
We're doing this. We're passionate about this, okay? And I want to, I need to get something off my chest. You guys need to share your thoughts and your feelings in the comments as much as possible.
Yeah.
We want that. We want to be a part of this with you guys. You know, we want you to be a part of that with us. But yeah, I'm sick, but I'm here. We're going to get through this, okay?
Yeah, and like to add to what he said, we want that open communication. We want you guys to like, tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like. We've already had a few comments on the Scott Pilgrim video, and so it's really nice to see you guys like commenting and interacting with us, because we want to build a whole community here of like everybody who is interested in like silly, fun comedy and like filmmaking and stuff. Like that's the kind of stuff we like to do. But anyway, yeah. So I want to.
You're referring back to whenever I was like basically. I had enough of regular old life, and I said to you, hey, I'm ready to make a career out of this.
Right. Yeah, so
Let's do this.
You messaged me on Facebook Messenger about, like, this was back in, November 1st of 2025. And you were asking me about Character Animator, which was interesting, because I didn't remember that conversation by the time that we started using it to make that podcast episode.
Yeah.
So I thought that was very interesting that I went back and looked at it today, and I was like, oh, we were talking about it before I didn't even know what it was, because I'd never used it. Obviously,
Full circle.
The name Character Animator tells you what it is, but I'd never used it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you got a hold of me, you reached out to me, because you were working on an animation for a client that you had, like somebody wanted something done. And I thought it was funny that you said like the animation that they wanted was like pretty intricate, and you were like, yeah, they're wanting to pay me $600, and I'm like, don't do it, man. That's like $4,000 to $5,000 worth of work right there.
Yeah.
But you worked on it, and then what was it that she didn't go through with it or something like that? She didn't.
No, yeah, we didn't end up. The project pretty much got dumped, so. Yeah. It is what it is.
And as a freelance person doing that kind of work, that does happen quite a bit, where you'll get set up and you'll start working on something, and then they just won't come back to you.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you're used to that with the construction stuff too. You probably run into that a lot too.
I would assume that's basically anything that's contractual.
Right. So then basically after that, we were like talking for a little while, and then you asked me to critique a bowling video that you shot.
Yeah.
And then you were like, you asked me to critique it, and I was like, how critical do you want me to be of this? Like, do you want me to be like, hey, you're my friend and you're shooting a video, that's cool? Or do you want me to be like professional, like producer, marketing manager who's like, let me break this down, the whole entire thing? And he was like, I want you to rip me apart, is essentially what he said. So I thought that was cool.
I was in tears for weeks after that last message, after that response.
I sent him, I typed up the whole entire message, and I tried to send it, and it wouldn't go. Because apparently with Facebook Messenger, there's a limit of 2,000 characters per message.
Yeah.
And I ended up having to send him 7 messages in order to get it to go through, all of it to go through. So I really tore that apart. But that's what he wanted. He wanted to be better. So that's why I spent that time going over it, and I literally broke everything down, explaining what was wrong with the shot and what could be done to make it better. And I really appreciate people like that, which is why one of the main reasons why I was cool with bringing Tom on to the podcast and be part of Just Plain Nonsense was because I'm like, I want people who are like go-getters and who are like very driven to get stuff done. And he was like, just tell me what I did wrong and what I can do to be better. And you don't find that very often, because most people, when you tell them what they've done wrong, they get very butthurt about it. But how else are you going to get better unless somebody who has been doing what you want to do tells you what you've done wrong and how to do it better?
Yeah, exactly. And I wish I remember, because I'm pretty good about remembering like key things in life, like people who told me like things that stick with me. But
Right.
there's this one phrase that I cannot for the life of me ever remember who I got this from. But simply put enough, you can't be practicing a foot race against slow people and expect to get faster.
That's a very good point.
You get out there and go on a foot race against the fastest person in the world. Eventually, you might not be the fastest, but you'll be dang close to it.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of different versions of that, and one of them is like, if you are the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yeah.
So you always want to surround yourself with people. If you want to better yourself, you want to surround yourself with people who are better than you at whatever you're trying to do, or who are more advanced than you, and you learn from them and ask them questions and try to push yourself. And that's what I've always done. Anyway, that's getting off topic. I critiqued your bowling video, and then you sent me, I want to say like probably 8 versions of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then I don't remember exactly how it happened, but you were at my house one day, and then was it Tiny Desk? Whenever I said, do you want to start working with Just Play Nonsense?
It was definitely Tiny Desk.
I could have swore you were here, like right outside the door, and you were like, I've been waiting for you to ask me this, because I could have swore you were here. I feel like maybe you stopped by to pick something up, like a piece of gear or something.
Possibly.
But I'm like 99% sure it was right here outside this door.
Yeah.
Where I was like, do you want to like work with me on this kind of stuff? And you were like, dude, I've been waiting for you to ask me, because you were like, I've been following you on Facebook and watching all your stuff and like all the stuff you post, and you were like getting kind of jealous is what you said.
Yeah.
And then you were like, yeah, just whenever I asked you, you were like, dude, I'm all in. Mm-hmm. And that really meant a lot to me.
Oh yeah.
So, and again, not every devlog is going to go this way, but this is like the first one. So I figure we're going to start with like how everything came together. So then after we did I critiqued you on the bowling video, you were like, you asked me, hey, keep me in mind if you ever need any more work done. And I was like, hey, so we have this, was it Emporium? It was Emporium first before Tiny Desk.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Emporium is like a live session music video.
Yeah.
That a friend of ours had started, and then he had me come in and like help him with like the producing it and making sure all the cameras were set right and the lights were set right and all this kind of stuff. And then I kind of volunteered Tom to come and help, because I knew he really wanted to get in. So I messaged him about it, and the message that he sent me back really meant a lot to me, because it said, man, you're really taking this seriously. Like the fact that you wanted to be part of video production with me, you were like, you're really taking this seriously. And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm like, if you're willing to learn, I'm totally down to help, to push, to get you wherever we need to go.
Yeah.
So what's funny is he showed up to that shoot before I did. And he was already in there on the back wall, like hanging up a bunch of lights and stuff.
Yeah. Rob comes in like, hey, Rob, like up on a ladder.
I thought that was cool because, again, with most people, if I'm like, hey, I've got this shoot that we're going to do, and you're going there and you don't know anybody,
they would have waited for you.
You're going to wait it out. You're going to wait outside.
Yeah.
Where I come in and I'm like, he's already in there. You already talked to Walker. You had already gotten an assignment.
Yeah.
And you were off in the back, like hanging up lights.
Yeah.
So I was like, I think that is super cool. And that's another reason why I was like, all right, man, I want him to work with me, because like that's what I want. Is I want people who are going to just go and do stuff. Like you're not going to wait to be told to do something. You're just going to like, what can I do? Or find something to do and just go do it.
Yeah. So
that's one thing that I've been running into a lot, is having issues with having to tell people every step of every process. And that I can't do it anymore, because I've been doing it for 20 years.
Yeah.
And I just don't have time to like sit and like break it down for you. That's why I'm looking for people like you who are like, I may not know how to do this exactly, but I'm just gonna jump in both feet and start doing it. Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
That sounds like your Tom character from The Big Helper.
We'll figure it out. I'm good at stuff.
Yeah,
Because he's like, how are you going to pay rent? And he's like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll just figure it out. I just want to help people.
Yeah, we'll get to that here in a little bit, talking about The Big Helper. So we did Emporium, and then there was like a little while after that, we did Tiny Desk Crashers, which was something that my business, I have a business partner, and it's a community thing that we put on for free. We bring in bands, and we do a different type of live music session where they come in, perform their music, and we shoot it with up to 4 cameras, and we live switch it like it's on TV. So, and the first year we did it, I think we had like almost 160 bands show up, and that was a long time.
Yeah.
Like that was 13 sessions that we did, that 13 weekends where we were working like 14-hour days.
Yeah.
Trying to get that stuff done. I was worn out by that one. But yeah, we brought you on for this one, and then you came in and you were like, you had just bought a bunch of new camera gear.
Yeah.
So you got you got an A6700?
Yes.
And then you almost said yes sir, didn't you?
Yes sir.
Call me sir. I swear
Yes,
on a
sir.
stack of TV guides. That's a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reference, by the way.
Nice.
But yeah, you were like jumped all in and bought a bunch of gear.
Yeah.
So talk about that a little bit, because you were
Yeah. Well, so I basically asked you. I remember I asked you a few questions about references for starter.
Few questions.
Yeah, for starter equipment and whatnot.
Right.
And so here I am researching and getting giddy, and I think at the time, like, you know, with me and the lady, my money is her money and her money is my money. So it's like when we spend birthday money or whatever, we're spending the same money. So whenever my birthday comes around, stuff like that, it's usually, what am I going to get myself, you know?
Right.
And I had some musical equipment in mind at the time, and then when we started doing that, and after the Emporium and all that, and I seen, you know, what was going on in the thick of it and behind the scenes, I was just a kid in a candy store. So
you were enamored with it. I thought that was cool.
Here I am a month later with a Sony A6700 in my hand, trying to figure out how to take a dang picture without it looking like dog crap, you know?
Yeah, and then we were doing Tiny Desk Crashers, and we were using the business that I have. We have a bunch of Panasonic Lumix cameras.
Yeah.
So we decided that since I have 2 Sony cameras and Tom has a Sony camera, we were gonna use, and I like the color science of Sony better than Lumix anyway. But we were gonna use as many Sonys as we could. So we used 3 Sonys and 1 Panasonic Lumix. And then you were like really, really excited to be like, do I need to bring my gear? Do I need to bring my camera? Can I use my camera? And I'm like, yeah, man, bring it up here. Like, get it set up. So that was a lot of fun. I was really glad that you got to use that. That made me really happy.
Yeah. Well,
you were so excited.
That easily jump-started me into learning all the ins and outs, at least the basics of that, you know, with whether, as far as my camera settings.
Yeah.
But
you need hands-on to be able to like get the experience with it.
Exactly, and it was cool. I mean, that's such a, and then what we did there was, it's a super professional setting in a really secretive small environment almost.
Yeah, it's a little teeny tiny environment.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was your first like experience using your own gear, besides what you did at home, like when you first got it.
Yeah.
Because like I remember when I first get something, like a new camera or something, I'm like taking pictures around my house, and it's just like of my furniture.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't really have a subject to like light and stuff. So that's really cool to like be able to get when you get your gear to take it in and actually get to play with it.
Yeah.
So then we did that, and then I think after that is when we had the discussion about you coming on and being part of Just Play Nonsense or something around there. Because you and I, we did it. How many weekends? Was it 4 weekends that we did Tiny Desk Crashers?
No, it was like 6.
Was it 6?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think it was 6. So we do it on the weekends. And basically Tom and I we hadn't been really hanging out a whole lot for a long time. Because we met in high school, but after high school, you kind of drift apart. But then I was seeing him every weekend, and then he was messaging me almost every single day through the week about like different things he wanted to do and things he wanted to work on. So then I was like, you know what, man, with as driven and like passionate as you are about it, I'm like, you're the type of person that I want on the team to be like part of the team. So that was really cool that we brought you on, and then we started talking about you and Dan started talking about what stuff we wanted to shoot, like what kind of content.
Yeah.
And I had to lay down the ground rules of be like, the Just Plain Nonsense is clean.
Yeah.
It's like PG, sometimes PG-13. We'll get a little bit in there if we have like some real important topics to talk about. But it's clean, it's fun. The whole thing is just enjoy creativity. That's like the whole, what's the word I'm looking for? Like you got the title and then the tagline is like enjoy creativity is the tagline.
Yeah.
So
we want to intellectually touch the
hold
lines.
for sound. God, man, that car is loud. Go ahead, try it again.
Yeah, we want to intellectually see. That's just ruined it.
I know.
So,
it's so
thanks, traffic.
Yeah, so we want it to be intellectual, clever, smart humor, but also very silly.
Yeah. Touch the lines in a clever manner, basically.
Because that's just the type of people we are. We're very silly, playful people, so why not make content you love?
Yeah.
So the first thing that we did, which is interesting because if you look at the order of our videos, the podcast came out first. Season 2, Episode 1 came out first. But we actually shot the Scott Pilgrim movie review way before that. And that was the first thing we ever shot together. But through the power of editing and release schedules, we made it look like the podcast was the first time we ever actually sat down and talked to each other. So let's talk about that Scott Pilgrim, the process of like making that video. So, and then we're going to be real because I know you were like, you didn't actually watch the movie because it had been a long time.
No, that's fine because
we brought you in so last minute that we were like, hey, we're shooting this video on Thursday. And you were like, all right, I'll be there.
Yeah.
And you were like, I didn't have time to watch the movie.
Yeah, I didn't. I wasn't, I seen the movie, but it was when it first came out and I didn't rewatch it. I wasn't prepared and I feel like I didn't have any input or value.
That's why if you watch
that
video, he's very quiet for most of it.
Yeah, so again, I'm going to go back to that's really good to point out still because people are going to be able to look back at that and see the difference, you know, because look out here, once we get comfortable, look out, because we're coming. I wish we would have had the actual. I mean, we do have the video of the podcast shoot. Yeah.
And you are all over the place. Like, you literally jumped onto Dan at one point.
Yeah,
But I didn't have time to animate that. Because I can't,
That's a lot of animating.
Yeah, so I wish we would have... I mean, maybe we'll release that video at some point. Like, the actual...
Sure.
Because the way that I set it up in the computer is that I cut it with the live video... And then I replaced it with the animations later.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to go back and cut it. So I can just turn off the animation layers.
Sure.
And then we'll have all the video.
Sure.
So I don't have to go back and recut it.
Yeah.
Because it's already there. But I think that would be super cool to let that out at some point. If we ever get to make a Patreon or something like that.
Yeah, the unedited version.
Yeah. Well, no, the
clean cut.
The actual live action version instead of the cartoon.
Live action.
But anyway, so back to Scott Pilgrim. Dan and I had watched it like a week or two ahead, or a week or two before we shot the video. So he came over one day and we just chilled and watched Scott Pilgrim because we freaking love the movie. But so setting that up to record, we had a couple of audio issues because these microphones, for some reason, DJI, they were dropping samples. So it would be going along just fine, and then all of a sudden it's out of sync with the other ones. And I couldn't understand what was happening. And I think the problem was, it might have been user error. So DJI, I apologize if it was user error. But they were full. Like, these will hold 7 gigs. They record to themselves. That's what this little red light means, is that it's recording. But it'll record to themselves, and I think when they fill up, it'll overwrite what was previous. So I wonder if, as it was overwriting, it may have gotten, like, the buffer got too full, and it lost a couple of samples.
Yeah.
So then it doesn't leave a blank space. It smashes them together, so there is no gap. So it's just somebody's talking, and then all of a sudden all of a sudden there's like and then it's like
It's the same difference as it's like a default stop and record in an instance.
yeah, but there's no gap at all, and you can't tell until you're going along, and then you see the waveform. They're off a little bit now, and you're like, how in the world did that happen? I was getting real mad. I can't tell you how mad I was about that.
Yeah.
So whenever we actually sat down to record this video, I went through and I cleared both of these off completely. So hopefully we won't have that problem. But we'll see.
We'll see.
So I'm trying to think of. Oh, we ran into some copyright issues too, because obviously it's a freaking Universal movie, and they're like, don't use you're not allowed to use the video clips from copyrighted material as your own thing. So we've learned our lesson about having to modify it a little bit. So because we had that video is not going to be able to be monetized because it's got too many copyrights on it. Like the whole entire video is just copyrighted or copyright claimed. So that's fine. That's not going to be a big deal. We were very excited though when it was getting in the 700 views range, and then we had like 9 comments or something like that on it, which obviously, if any bigger YouTube out there is going to be like, that's not a lot.
No.
But it's still exciting because it's more than 10 views, So
yeah, we'll take it all. Just bring it on. We need it.
But that's pretty exciting. I'm trying to think. Is there any other issues that we ran into with that Scott Pilgrim video? Oh, we had a couple of things where there were a couple cuss words in there that we needed to bleep out.
Natural editing is part of the process.
Yeah, and Dan edited that one. So, and that was a big step for me because in every project that I've done, I've always been the one that ends up editing it. So Dan offered to edit it, and I was like, I really like this. So I passed it on to him to let him edit it. He did a great job, especially the thing that cracked me up the most was that Allison Pill jump scare that he put on there. It cracked me up so much. And yeah, I thought he did an excellent job with it. But on the next one that we're gonna do, which we'll talk about that toward the end of this video, is gonna be what we're doing in May. So that's gonna be we'll get to that. So I can't think of anything else that happened with that video because that was the first one that we shot.
No, other than I didn't feel like I had as much input as I wanted to.
Yeah, you asked me several times afterwards. You were like, "Did I do okay? Did I contribute enough?" And I'm like, "Dude, you're fine. Like, just be yourself."
I was surprised after listening to it. I actually had a lot more input than I remembered, but still, I knew I didn't.
You weren't yourself.
I wasn't like It's not like I was like snapping onto stuff because it was right there in the backbone of my memory.
Well, also you were the new guy who came in, so you were trying to like find your place and everything. Which is totally fine.
Which I'm now that we're doing more acting, which we're about to get into as well. I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with the camera and everything being around and being more natural, know.
And having to fake all the reactions because that's what acting is. Is basically just it's fancy lying is what acting is. That's what I like to call it. But yeah, so then we moved on and we shot the podcast.
Yeah.
So podcast season 2 episode 1. We made a grave mistake by we set up 3 different cameras, one on each one of us, and for my camera. I have the Sony A1. That was the camera that was pointed at me, which is this camera right here. The screen on it doesn't swivel out, so I can't see it. So I was having Tom look at it. I didn't even tell him to really monitor it at all, so that was still on me.
No, you heard him. He was having me look at it, so it's my fault.
It's Tom's fault. That's why I had to put all the work into the animation. So what happened was I stood up from my chair and I hit record on the camera, and then when I sat back down, it had focused on the bookshelf behind me, and it never switched to my face, which I think is crazy because my face took up a good portion of the screen, and also you would think that the software in the camera would be like, oh, there's a face, maybe I should focus on that. But no, it stayed focused on the bookshelf the whole entire time. So my shot wasn't usable at all. Even though, and what sucks is the screens are so small that you can't tell that it's out of focus because it wasn't a lot. It was just barely out of focus.
Just enough.
Yeah. And then the shot of Dan when he was sitting here, we used the FX30 to shoot him, and the last time I'd used it was at Tiny Desk Crashers, and I had it in manual focus because that was the main shot, and I didn't want it to try to shift focus. So I forgot to switch it out of manual focus, and it was on him, and I just assumed autofocus will take care of it. It's fine. It did not, because it was out of focus until the very end of the video when I was like, let me check the focus instead of checking it at the beginning of the video like you're supposed to. So then, with that, as I got into editing, I cannot express to you how angry I was. I was so mad because I was like, I ruined the very first video that we did, like trying to come out with. And I was like, gosh dang it. So that's why it took us so long to get it out, was because I had to learn how to animate. So now I'm having to learn how to use Adobe Character Animator, which I've never done before. I've never messed with it before. So I had to spend 30 hours learning it and getting it up and running and using Photoshop to create all the mouse shapes and just everything that goes into it. So that was a lot of work that I had to do. It was 30 hours of me extra work. Because whenever we had talked about doing the podcast initially, we were like, yeah, we'll just shoot it. It'll be a real quick edit. We don't need to put up a bunch of graphics or anything. Yeah. And then I messed it up and I had to spend 30 hours fixing it.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't about to put up just a random blurry video through the whole thing, because I just can't do that.
Ended up interesting because it still looks great. It's such a cool concept still. It was a happy
I just hate
mistake.
that it had to be the first episode, because then you come out with that and then everybody's thinking that that's going to be the whole rest of the season 2 is going to be all cartoons.
Yeah. Don't expect that.
No, for sure. We are delving into cartoon stuff, and we can talk about that. We'll talk about that once we get into the May kind of stuff for this devlog.
Yeah.
So, the podcast, I'm trying to think of any other issues that we had with it, anything else that we need to talk about with its production.
I mean, otherwise it was smooth. I mean, it was a nice smooth running piece, if you ask me. But
I remember when I was sending you the versions of you that we had generated of your character, of your avatar.
Oh, yeah.
And your girl was like, absolutely not. Like the first one I sent you, she was like, absolutely not.
We had to get permission for my animation, my character to look correct.
And then mine, it's no secret that I'm a big guy. And mine, I had it generate one for me, and I sent it to Tom, and he goes, bro, they did you dirty. Because I freaking looked like Jabba the Hutt, man. I was so upset.
It was pretty bad.
I was upset. I'm upset with myself for letting me get to this point, but I'm working on that. That's a whole other story. But yeah, so then I was like, I ended up being like, I need you to make me a little bit thinner. So then it thinned me up a little bit so I didn't look like a big old freaking tub of lard just sitting there. But yeah, so that was one of the things I thought was kind of funny. And then Dan's came out great. Like his looked great with the red beard and it even had like even the text on his hat was all right.
Yeah.
So that turned out pretty well. But yeah, so I think that's it for that video. And then before we wrote and shot The Big Helper, we were talking about, we had a meeting on Discord. We had a meeting on Discord where we were talking about what videos we wanted to shoot or what we wanted to write, like different types of videos we wanted to make. And I was initially working on one that, again, I can't say the name of it because then it'll give away the premise. But if you go back and watch the podcast, there's an explanation that I have about what mine is. And it's pretty intricate. We're gonna have to shoot it on a green screen. And hire actual models and actors for mine, which is a big deal. Yours involves at least 10 to 15 characters. We need a bunch of background actors because it needs to look like it's busy.
Yeah.
This Unexpecting is the one that I'm talking about. Again, you can go check it out on that podcast episode. Season 2, episode 1. Yours it's going to require quite a bit. And we need props. And we'll need I don't know if we're going to show the baby at the end. But then we would need a baby prop.
Right.
So it's like that's a lot of work that's going to go in. Oh yeah, we are going to have to because of the little ending.
Well,
the secret ending.
not exactly, because remember we talked about shadow play too.
Oh yeah, sure.
And which
true.
I think is, I like stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's cheaper that way too. 'Cause
Well,
we don't have to go get an animatronic baby.
Yeah. It's again one of those more intellectual pieces that we kind of work around.
But so the whole point is that it's a lot. There's a lot that's going to go into it. Dan, the one that he's working on, his is pretty intricate as well. So we were like, we need to be able to get content out now. So we came up with the idea. Tom had the idea for a series called The Big Helper, or at least a video called The Big Helper. And it was about somebody who wants to help, but he's real bad at it. And he just makes a mess every time. So then it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was laying right here. And I was like, I need to work on this. So I pulled out my phone, and luckily I have the app, the screenwriting app on my phone. So I literally just wrote it out on my phone. And then when I finished it, it was like four or five pages. And I sent it to Dan and Tom. And then Tom came back. He goes, "Bro, you're a genius."
It was beautiful. You guys watch it right now. Oh my God. Go watch that.
Pause this video and go watch that.
Go watch that right now.
That made me super happy because I mean, it means a lot, when someone like respects your video or your writing ability and stuff.
So one thing, and this is, again, I'm not used to this because this is a whole new realm of things. It's like I didn't do theater writing. I hated English class back at school. I hated writing essays. I hated writing stories. I hated coming up with stuff. And now I love it.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, what I'm getting to is, the cool thing was that I came up with the concept, the whole idea of it, and then you were like, boom, here's a whole...
Let me build the world around it.
Here's a whole script for a whole video, and literally my whole thought was real, just like brought to life.
Right.
And so the fact that we were able to like collaborate and do that so smoothly, like that's just so cool. And again, like it turned out like you said, I read it and instantly was like, yes, let's go. I was like, this is perfect.
And I think the only change that we made to it was that I had written that it was your mom who had taught you, who had been helping you with that you were helping, and then she would always pat you on your head and send you on your way. And then you said, can we make it my grandma, because that feels more real.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, absolutely, if that's the way you want to go with it. So then we went with the grandma. Even though it's a very silly video, it's kind of, it has an endearing character in it that you're like, this dude, he's the worst, but I still love him and I want to see him succeed. Because you have that, like, you played that character so well, because you have that golden retriever puppy dog energy. And that's what the whole thing that you were just like, that's how you came across, is you had that energy. And that's what is going to make that character so lovable, is that you can't hate him even though he's messing up your house. You can't hate him because you're just like, he doesn't know any better.
Yeah, he means well. That's all you need to know is he means well.
Yeah. So the production of that was fairly straightforward, because we just had two characters in a house sitting and talking to each other.
Yep.
The difficulty came when we needed to spill milk all over the kitchen.
Yeah.
So, spoilers, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. If you're still here watching this video, I'm surprised, but I appreciate it. I'm sure we all appreciate it.
Absolutely.
But anyway, go watch that video. So, we shot it in my house, in my kitchen, and I didn't want milk to be spilled all over the floor and then left in like any crevice under the dishwasher, under the stove, or anything like that. And then 2 weeks later, I'm like, why do I smell rotten milk? So we made our own milk. We did a little bit of research and found out that baking soda and water would make a decent milk.
It was fairly easy.
It was a lot of baking soda.
It was a lot of baking soda.
2 whole boxes of baking soda with like half a gallon of water.
Yeah.
And it looked fine in the jug. and it looked fine when he was pouring it. But once it hit something and started to spread out, I realized that it was pretty clear. Like, it's very see-through.
Oh, yeah.
So if you watch that video and the tight shot of the milk is not looking like milk exactly, that's why. Because it was baking soda, and I don't want milk spilled all over my counters and all over my appliances and stuff. But it left a huge mess all over the floor that I thought was super cool that you cleaned up.
Yeah.
Because we put towels down for the wider shot.
Yeah.
For the upper shot. And then on the ground, whenever we went down, we cleaned the towels out of the way, spilled the milk on the floor, and then we only did that in one take.
Yeah. We had to.
Because I was like, we don't need to clean. Wait, no, we did it in 2 takes because we cleaned it up.
But it didn't,
once, and then redid it again.
Yeah.
Because we didn't like the splash.
Yeah.
So luckily, yeah, that happened the right way. And then it left a residue on my floor for so long. Because I had to go in there and I kept, like, all my counters were like, they looked frosted.
Yeah.
Because there was just baking soda dust everywhere.
Yeah.
So I went through and I cleaned all that stuff off. But no, yeah, I was very impressed with the fact that you just went in while I was like putting all the gear away. You just went and you cleaned it all up. Which I'm used to people being like, all right, I'm out, and then leaving me with all the cleanup. So that's another reason why I really appreciate you.
I know. I appreciate you appreciating me. That's why I do that.
No, that means a lot. That's awesome. So there wasn't really any issues with editing that video. Because once I started putting it together, we did about 4 takes, I think, of each line. And then, well, actually, I kind of do want to go into the fact that this is your first real video you've ever done before.
Yeah.
And I gave you the script that morning.
Yeah.
So there was no like time to prep.
Yeah.
So luckily, the script involved a laptop sitting there where somebody's playing video games on, and we had the lines up on the screen so he could read it.
You might think that there was video games up on the screen when you're watching the show, but
that's movie magic.
It actually wasn't a video game on the screen. Might blow your mind.
It was the script.
Might blow your mind.
So what's funny is that it actually worked in our favor a little bit because once the Tom character came in and sat down, he was enamored with the video game because that's the type of person that he is. So you're just sitting there like staring at the screen trying to read your lines, but it looks like you're really into this video game. So I thought that was really, really good.
It worked well.
In some of the behind the scenes, though, there are times where you can, it'll be showing right now, but you're like, you'll start your line and then you're like, dang it.
Yeah.
Like if they are bored, gosh dang it, can't read the freaking thing.
So that was just kind of funny, like watching that process, like watching you learn how to like learn your lines.
Yeah.
And it's crazy too, because you went through it so many times sometimes, and then it still didn't stick at all.
Yeah.
Because there was so much going on
Yeah.
that you were just like, I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
So it was funny too, because you were so confident when you came over that day.
Yeah.
You were like, we got this, no problem, no worries.
Yeah.
And then you were like, I don't know my lines at all.
Yeah.
Because you were studying them, and you and Dan were going over them like while I was getting stuff set up. You were running lines together, and then you were like, all right, I got this. And then the camera started rolling, and then your mind just went blank.
Yeah.
So
it's like test taking.
Yeah, I thought that was super funny. Now, Dan, he knocked it out of the park.
Dan's a natural.
His acting, he does plays and stuff like that, so he did an excellent job with his character. Especially there's one spot where he just can't believe that Tom's business is like people paying him to hang out with them. And he does this like little head shake thing, and I'm like, oh, that's so perfect.
Speaking of that, if anybody does need me to hang out with them for money, let me know in the comments.
They're like, I'll give you some good cuddles. I'll give you a hug, or we can run, or I'll help you move. He's like, I'll walk your dogs with you.
Yeah.
Whatever. That could be like a real business, like a real job. It's just call Tom.
Call Tom.
But yeah, so is there anything else you can think of about any of that stuff that you want to throw out there?
No, it was fun. It was fun, and it didn't take us I mean, it took us a long time, but not a long time for a bunch of amateurs, you know, especially me being
Yeah.
super noob. But
And
it turned out so well.
We shot that video in 5 hours that night.
Yeah, so I mean, really, in retrospect, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, and I think it probably took me maybe 4 hours to edit the whole thing. So yeah, I think that turned out really well, and I love the feedback that we got from it, especially from our families and stuff. Because my mom, my niece, 2 of my nieces, and my brother all commented, and they were like, "Dude, I love this.
Yeah.
It's so good."
Yeah.
And then my mom was literally like, "That's it? I want more."
Yeah.
So that made me feel really happy.
We're gonna give you more, Mom. It's coming straight to you.
Yeah, we just got to write them, and then shoot them, and then edit them. So, coming up in May, we have so be prepared for this. We have a new movie review that we're going to do, and hopefully we've learned our lesson from how to actually present it. It is going to be the 1993 version of the Super Mario Brothers. So we're going to watch that, and we're going to do a movie review on that. Hopefully.
Which I can't find on any of my streaming services.
Yeah, I think you have to buy it. You're going to have to go buy it somewhere.
Somebody buy it for me. Wait, are we gonna? You won't see this video yet.
Yeah,
buy it for me anyways. Send me a gift card.
So there's that, and then we're also going to do episode 2 and 3 of the podcast are coming up in May. And those are going to be, hopefully those are going to be pretty fun. And then I'm trying to think what we have a production schedule or a release schedule that is every week. So there is a podcast, sketch, podcast, and then a devlog or a sketch, depending on the month. So we are going to be working on a second series of videos that is should be fairly easy to shoot, but there's going to be a fun where basically we're going to have characters that we write that are going into therapy sessions, and hopefully it's going to be super silly and playful and very relatable. Is one of the main things that I want to put out there with these videos, is that they're relatable. So I don't know if you guys just noticed, but Tom looked like he was zoned out. But what he's actually doing is watching himself on the screen behind the TV.
Well, I have a problem, guys. Okay, speaking of therapy.
Yeah, so remember how I mentioned that my screen doesn't fold out? I have that camera running to the TV behind, and actually I'm going to take a picture of it just so you guys can see it. It's pretty crazy. That's what he was looking at. So just staring at himself up there.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so that's what we got coming up. That's what we worked on. That's what we got coming up. I'm hoping these devlogs are going to be like these similar kind of videos where we just basically discuss what went into the productions of the previous videos and then what we have coming up for the next month. I feel like it might be kind of fun. Maybe, hopefully.
Let us know. What do we need to change? What do you guys want to see? How about that? You guys talk to us. We'll talk back. And we'll make changes for you.
For sure.
We love you.
And I think that's it. Do you have anything else that you want to...
No, just stay tuned. We're going to keep putting it out. Like he said, we're trying to be consistent. That's why I'm here today. We didn't... I don't even want to be in front of a camera, but, you know... we want to keep pushing.
Full disclosure, I was hoping that he was going to cancel so that I could just lay down and not do anything. So
yes,
we're here because we even though we are passionate about this, sometimes the days come where you're just like, I'm really not feeling it.
Life hits you.
Yeah, but we're here because we want this to be a thing.
Talk to us about it. We're here to be as one. We're going to be one giant family with the world.
Like Pluribus. Which that might be coming soon. I might be getting Micah we'll do a Pluribus show review, which is super cool.
There you go.
Alright, I think that's everything. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon or whatever so that you see when we upload videos. Hopefully at least once a week. And then go check us out on all of the podcast platforms if you're interested in listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
Where we just sit around and talk about dumb stuff all the time. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, bye.
Thank you.